please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 theme lands of the Magic Kingdom.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and this is episode 195 of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. Welcome back. Today is April the 1st, 2024. We are in a new month. We're in a new quarter. We're moving forward, full speed ahead. And it's also one of our co-pilots' very special happy birthday. So let's welcome in the birthday boy himself. Ladies and gentlemen, at the ripe old age of 54, it's Landon the Dawsdone. Landon, welcome to the monorail.
Hi, everybody. Coming in from the isolation station below. It's me. It's the DOZ, Landon the Dawsdone, or I guess I should say the birthday boy, Landon the Dawsdone today. That is not an April Fool's Day prank. It's very appropriate that me, the biggest fool that you know, was born on April Fool's Day, but it is in fact true. You can even check my government-issued ID card. April 1st is my birthday.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
I think that just explains why you're such a silly goose, Landon.
It does explain why I am a silly goose, a silly boy, a silly Billy, whatever you want to say. It explains a whole lot.
I made the joke you're turning 54. That's not true. You're not quite there yet. But you are on the verge of a big milestone, and I just want to set up a little teaser for a little later in the episode. You've got a big announcement you're going to share as part of this build-up to the big 4-0. 39 this year, next year turning 40, and you've got a big announcement at the end of the show. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. Today I am turning 39, but I already have an eye towards the future. Most people say you only turn 40 once. I know there are some people that are out there, I'm 39 and holding pee, but I am not of that mindset. Next year for my 40th birthday, I have a big idea that I'm going to talk about at the end of this podcast, and I want you, Justin, the person we're going to introduce here in a second, and you, the lovely listener, to come along for the ride. So be sure and stay tuned for the end of the podcast to talk about that.
Very good. Yes, let's welcome in the person that we haven't introduced yet. It is a surprise birthday party participant, the third but not the least co-host of the Morning Monorail podcast. It's Stephers. Stephers, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, and happy birthday, Landon. I was told I have to tell you that it's your birthday today, so happy birthday.
Still counts. Thank you, Stephers.
Like I could forget that.
It's a birthday of the man we all love so much, the Dawes. We got a very special show all in honor of the birthday boy today, and I think let us not delay any further. Let's get right into the news, because the first article is sort of like a very special article just for Landon. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We've got breaking news last week. Somehow, someway, the Disney leadership and noted Disney villain Ron DeSantis decided to settle this years-long litigation, several lawsuits in court, all settled at the same time, both parties deciding to drop everything and walk away. And at the end of the day, nothing really is happening. So, Landon, how do you feel about that?
Well, if I remember correctly, Justin Monorail, this all really kind of started to break loose back during the Does Disney era of this podcast. And if I remember correctly, I came on and I said, at the end of the day, I really feel like nothing is going to come of this. This is performative political stunt by noted Disney villain Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in, at the time, his lead up for a 2024 GOP presidential nomination. Obviously, that didn't go well for Ronnie, so he had to come back to the state of Florida with his tail tucked between his legs, and nothing happened. So there was a whole bunch of hullabaloo. Disney got a whole bunch of stuff gunked up for no reason, and we pretty much ended exactly where we started.
Yeah. I mean,
Reedy Creek District got a new name. It got some new leadership. New leadership got new leadership at the top of the new leadership several times because Ron DeSantis only appoints the best people, as we know.
Yeah.
Only the best people. Wait, no, that's the other guy. Never mind. But yeah, we're pretty much right back to square one. And Disney is, all right, cool. We're going to keep doing our thing. Is that cool, Florida? Is that cool, Florida? And Florida's like, yeah, all right, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the only big thing that happened was, if you remember, there was sort of like a 11th hour deal that Disney made with Reedy Creek on, it was like the last day of Reedy Creek operation.
That's right, yep. Mm-hmm.
That basically said, okay, it's great there's a new board coming in, but we're still going to do whatever we want.
Yeah.
and that got dropped. That did get dropped. But I thought one of the interesting things was almost immediately after the announcement, you had both sides come out and say, this is great. We're just ready to move forward. But DeSantis has gone from saying that they're going to put a prison on Disney property to now saying, well, maybe Disney should open a fifth gate. So really interesting. I wonder why that would be. Could it be that it makes a ton of money for the state and it was really weird to pick a fight with them? I think that could be part of it.
No, it's never weird to pick a fight with one of the biggest money makers and employers for your state there, Ronnie.
So anyway,
maybe this will give him more time to go look for high heel lifts for that VP call that's never coming. Oh, sorry. I digress.
Yeah. I really only bring it up to just say it's good that we can now all of us hopefully move on. I don't want to linger too long on it. It's like you said, it seemed to be sort of just posturing mostly on both sides. I think DeSantis really wanted something to sort of beat his chest over and hopefully propel him to be a Republican nominee, but that was never going to happen. So we're back to square one, just like we were, and we move forward.
Yeah, much like you, I'm just glad this whole damn thing is done with.
Yeah, for now. For now.
For now, yes. It's kind of like Jason Voorhees at the end of a Friday the 13th movie. The monster's dead. We don't have to worry about Jason again. Then you see a hand pop up out of Camp Crystal Lake. It's like, oh, God, here we go.
Yeah. So we'll see. Who knows?
Except Jason's wearing lifts this time.
But at least for now, we get a break. So we'll move forward just like Disney and our Florida governor.
But hey, that fifth gate, not a bad idea, Ronnie.
Well, it's not a bad idea. I don't know that we need it, but it's not a bad idea. Another piece of good news. So this is actually on the clickorlando.com channel 6 here locally. Orange County commissioners move forward with Disney affordable housing project. Now, this is something that's been on the table for a long time. I think we all are very aware cast members don't make enough money to live. You've got cast members that have been working at the most magical place on earth for years and years and years, and the housing in Florida has only continued to go up. The cost of living has only continued to go up, and I heard an estimate that there's probably like over 1,000 Disney cast members that are like unhoused, that would fall into the unhoused category, because they just can't afford a place to live. So this is good news. Disney's plan is to build a 1,400 unit attainable housing development, and this will be not far from Flamingo Crossing. 1,000 of those units are going to meet the county's definition of affordable housing, and Disney is allocating 80 acres of its land for the project. So this is great. I'm not sure it totally solves the problem or goes quite far enough. I think another piece of this is Disney has to continue to increase wages, and also provide, insurance and benefits for the cast members that, hey, we say it all the time. It's the cast members that make the magic. Yeah. If you don't have the cast members doing their job, making the magic for the guests every single day, you got nothing. So, I love it because I do think that this is a step in the right direction. I don't know that it's it solved, like I said, I don't know it solves the problem, but it is a good step.
100%. Yeah. And you said the real issue to the problem, I think, is wages for cast members do need to be bumped up across the board. I know in the last couple of years, Disney and Universal, I do want to say both have been trying to remedy that problem, but it is not enough. The increase we've seen at both parks, any amount helps, and any step in the right direction is progress and does help. So I am glad that Disney is moving forward. And affordable housing, not only is it a problem in Orlando, affordable housing is becoming a problem just across America. It's like that's a problem that's reared its ugly head here in East Tennessee, here in Knoxville in particular. So I'm glad that a major corporation like Disney is trying to do something about it. Again, this isn't enough, but something is better than nothing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I just know, like, I am aware because I try to, like, keep plugged into sort of what the market is around the area, because I've got kids that are of the age where one of them is already living on their own. The other's, going to be thinking about it soon. And one thing I know is in that area of town, like if you're living close to Disney in like the Flamingo Crossing area, studio apartments in that area are going to cost you like $1,800 a month. Like, who can afford that? Can you imagine being 19, 20 years old? Maybe you're still in college, but you're working, you're trying to, work your way through college. I never could have paid for an apartment like you basically you're looking for two roommates or something in a studio apartment like that. At least
that many roommates.
Yeah. It's just nuts. And then not to mention, okay, we're talking about like people working jobs, trying to work their way through college. What about the people that are like adults that work at Disney? I mean, I just don't. It's crazy. I don't know what the solution is, but you're right. The housing problem is pervasive. It's everywhere. And minimum wage has not kept up with inflation, and here we are. So anyways, again, though, this is good news, not trying to put a rain cloud over something that is good news, but I hope it's not the end all be all. I hope there's more and we keep moving in this direction.
Yeah. Hopefully this is just step one, as opposed to Disney will be like, well, look at what we did. Problem solved. On to the next.
Right. All right. How about we step into the parks now? So I believe it may have been D23 last year where we first heard some blue sky talk about what could possibly be going on in DinoLand USA. And they floated some different little ideas out there that, maybe we could do something for Moana in DinoLand. Maybe it could be Encanto. Maybe, Indiana Jones. Well, you had to wonder how long DinoLand was going to sort of sit like it without Primeval Whirl and without having anything done to it. And it sounds like all of that is about to change very soon. According to this WDWMagic.com article, a new permit suggests major expansion at Disney's Animal Kingdom is a go. Now, here's what we know. We know that the dinosaur ride is one that's always being looked at as something that needs to be addressed. We also know that track is exactly the same as the Indiana Jones track at the Indiana Jones ride in Disneyland. And it could be a very easy conversion to that. It sounds like, from everything that we're reading, everything we're hearing, that is probably going to be the case. That's most likely going to happen. So you've got Indiana Jones. You can plug and play that into the dinosaur ride, and that does not entail a significant refurb, not like building a whole new thing. However, there's more to it, because we're going to address that whole DinoLand area, and it sounds like we're going to be getting Encanto into the DinoLand area. So basically, the permit that we have, according to the article, outlines plans to install a Walt Disney Imagineering project trailer compound behind Kali River Rapids and a parking lot for more than 300 vehicles. The area has a backstage roadway and walkway leading to DinoLand USA. These types of facilities are common for large construction projects that we've seen in the past, including the Fantasyland redevelopment and Pandora at Animal Kingdom. Now, the permit doesn't specifically say what's happening, but all of the tea leaves we're reading is just coming from announcements that have happened at D23 over the last couple of years. And we've got another D23 coming up just in a few days. I assume I hope we're going to get some news on what might be happening in that area. How do we feel about this? Indiana Jones and Encanto moving into the animal kingdom? Stephers, I feel like you had some opinions on this when we were setting it up early.
Okay, so there's another article we're going to talk about coming up here shortly. Y'all already know how I feel about Encanto. Don't get me wrong. Quality.
You don't like it.
Sure.
We know you don't like it.
For the children. And those who love it. Whatever. I think it's a great concept, but like Animal Kingdom? I mean, okay, wait. Okay, pause, actually. Let me further reflect. If they do it, spoiler alert, maybe, if you haven't seen this movie already, isn't there like Antonio maybe goes through his door and it's like a whole thing?
Yeah.
Like that would make sense.
Yeah.
But then just wait until this next article and then you're like, are we doing Moana Part 2? Like what's happened? I don't think it makes sense if they're doing an Indiana Jones thing and that, like, none of that makes sense to me, respectfully.
Yeah, it's interesting.
What you doing? Where you at? What's happening? Because last I checked, y'all had a stunt-tacular show at a different park anyway. Like, why? I get that they have the means, but you could easily... I guess it wouldn't be... Well, if the track's the same, you could easily just redesign something.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Is that not easy? In my head, you could just still do the same kind of ride, just different.
Just with a different IP.
Like, different theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, well, look at Splash Mountain into Tiana's Bayou Adventure, right?
That's exactly. Like, why can't, like, you could do the Encanto thing, but why don't you make it a ride? Make it more, we're already getting it. Whatever. I'm just, like...
Yeah.
I'm tired. Y'all are going to beat the IPs to death. But you know what it is? It's also probably also not a ploy, but it's also like a tactic probably to drive more people to the Animal Kingdom because people are like, I don't want to go to the Animal Kingdom. Let me not say a bunch of reasons because I don't want to be that person. But like, they could be using that too. And an Encanto thing could drive more people. Like, it makes sense, but also it doesn't make sense, y'all.
By the way, that was a perfect Jeffers impression. So, but
I try.
Landon, I mean, so how do you feel about? I know you're an Indiana Jones fan. I know you loved Encanto. How do you feel about these two properties coming into Animal Kingdom?
Well, Stephers brought up the whole Antonio situation. If they wanted to frame it that way, I know it looks like we're going to get a casita layover. Like we're going to have the house from Encanto in some way. If they put the focus on Antonio's room, that is very animal centric, so that would make sense. I know in Surface Pressure in the movie when Luisa is singing they have a whole bunch of donkeys, so that's another animal aspect. But I mean, even as somebody who likes Encanto, it kind of feels like a stretch to include it in the Animal Kingdom. And I like Indiana Jones too, and I understand that the track is very similar, if not a 1-to-1 replication of the track that they have for Dinosaur. But in Animal Kingdom, Indy feels kind of out of place. Now, I know they can dress it up like, they'll turn it into like a dig site for Indiana Jones, and, it'll be really cool. And, you can, like, instead of digging for dinosaur bones, you can go excavating for relics from an ancient civilization or something like that. And I know they'll dress it up fine, but at the same time, it's like with the theming of the rest of the park.
Yeah.
I don't know if Indiana Jones treasure hunter and Indiana Jones this belongs in a museum. Indiana Jones noted Nazi puncher. It kind of sticks out,
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
And Grant, I've never been fortunate enough to go out on the left coast to ride the Indiana Jones attraction. And I'm going to be honest, if they do copy paste it into Animal Kingdom, I'm going to go ride it. Where right now, I don't ride Dinosaur. I just don't ride Dinosaur, A, because I think the track's kind of rough and I don't like getting thrown around to that point. And B, the attraction itself is kind of in a state of disrepair.
Yeah.
You just look at the state of some of the dinosaurs. I mean, skin's falling off of them. And that's the ones that are, working.
The ones moving.
That that attraction. So it's like I'm definitely going to ride it if Indy's out there, so I can finally experience it. And I think if they were to transform it from Dinosaur to Indy, they would put some TLC into it.
Yeah.
It would be a more working attraction than it is right now in its current state of Dinosaur. But thematically, in the animal kingdom, it's just weird. And kind of like Stephers said, you already got the stunt show in Hollywood Studios. And the last time I was in there, the stunt show still pulls quite a crowd.
Oh, yeah. It's always full.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my question.
You get
half
one
rhetorical
question.
For us, it's probably half rhetorical because maybe you can answer it now, but maybe you have to think about it. But what, at the end of the day, what do we feel like is more important or more heavily weighed through the crowd? Do we more care about it thematically being accurate, or do we care about having an IP that we thoroughly enjoy in a park? And I think that's where they're at.
That's a good question.
And at the same time, it's like, not that we're competing, but respectfully, it is a business. But will this compete? Like, are you really trying to compete by throwing a bunch of stuff at the wind and hoping it lands? Or like, it just doesn't. To me, my answer is I think you need to be thematically accurate. You can't call something an Animal Kingdom and then half-butt thing,
Yeah.
Like,
because I think
it
already
doesn't sit right with me.
Already Pandora is a stretch in Animal Kingdom, right? I mean, but I think it works. It works, but it's still a stretch. But I think that the reason it works is because they made it be like a very immersive, land where you get to experience the nature of Pandora. So that's how they're
correct.
That's how they're making that happen. And it sounds like what they're doing with this area, it's going to be tropical America, which makes sense because Indy, like, especially if you look at Raiders of the Lost Ark, it starts in tropical America. So, and they already have Africa and Asia represented in Animal Kingdom. We don't really have like South America, tropical America represented. So that's good. I don't see the animal connection. I don't see the animal connection with Indy, but I still am excited. Like, I would love to have more Indy in the parks. We were just talking earlier about how I saw that Joy is going to start doing a meet and greet in Hollywood Studios in Pixar Place. And right now she's currently in the Imagination Pavilion in Epcot. I am definitely of the crowd that's like, I would much rather don't have IPs spread across each park. Like the Fab Five, fine. They can be everywhere because they are the core Disney characters.
Fab Five?
They're the Fab Five. They should be everywhere. but like when it comes to like Toy Story, for example, we've got Toy Story in the Magic Kingdom and in Hollywood Studios. I would rather it just all be focused in Hollywood Studios. Yeah, because of Buzz Lightyear in Tomorrowland.
Oh, I was like, what are we talking? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think that's a not controversial, but I think that's a divisive opinion.
I just think that when you have an idea like that, I would much prefer Disney to like stick with the theme of whatever you've decided to do in this park, that's what you should be doing there. And then the other park do something else. I guess the counter argument is, though, if you've got guests who are only going to be able to go to one or two parks, and you have kids they love Toy Story, or adults, and they can only go to Magic Kingdom. Because everybody, if you're coming to Disney and you can only go to like one or two parks, you're probably going to Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. Well, then you want to be able to give them their Toy Story experience. So I get that, and I'm not trying to be like a local curmudgeon. I'm just saying from like a theming immersion standpoint, it's just like you were saying, like with the stunt show in Hollywood Studios, and Hollywood Studios is more about the movies and immersing you in the movies. I would rather, if it was possible, have an indie ride at Hollywood Studios and have something we don't have already placed into Animal Kingdom. That'd be my preference.
I also just want to say, I am not. Listen, Encanto. I just drew a parallel. Listen here. I drew a parallel, and I was like, they could make it work. But I will say I am biased for this because in my heart, I wanted a Zootopia area at Animal Kingdom. And I think that my rooted saltiness is because I wanted Zootopia, and this seems like not it for me.
Yeah. But
they could make it work. I'm like the thematic vibe. Like I want you to be animally, like nature's fine, but like anyway, that's my 2 cents
I don't
on
fault
this.
Disney for maybe quote unquote moving away from the thematic element of Animal Kingdom, maybe sacrificing or going in spite of that for introducing something like Encanto, because I mean, like, Stephers, whether you like it or not, Encanto is one of the most popular things Disney has done in recent history. And I mean, we're now slowly starting to see it introduced more into the parks. But for as popular as it is and as big as it is on the streaming services, it really doesn't have that big of a footprint in the parks right now. And to kind of answer your rhetorical question you threw out there, I do think if there is an Encanto presence in Animal Kingdom, if there is a Casa Madrigal that Encanto fans can go hang out, that can go experience, that can go relive their favorite moment of the movie, or just feel like they're part of the family Madrigal, I think that will get people to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask that question because I guess I just didn't realize. I haven't looked at the numbers. I didn't look at the box office or anything, but I guess I didn't realize that Encanto was as popular as it is. But I'm glad that
office numbers are going to be deceiving because it came out like it had a very limited theatrical run. It was mostly on Disney Plus, but I remember when it first came out, and then when it, like, in the run after it came out, it had a amazing debut, and then the numbers continued to be consistently in the top 10 of Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm citing.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong. It was a question that I had in my head of like, I guess I just didn't realize it was popular enough to be like, hey, this is the thing that we're going to go and replace a whole land. I mean, it's not going to anchor the whole land, but it's going to be a significant portion of
the soundtrack did give them a #1 song in America. How long has it been since? I guess it'd been since Frozen.
That's so funny. We were talking about that the other day because I was asking Casey, we were talking about, maybe it was this article or something that spurred the conversation. But I was like, do you remember, isn't it crazy that we don't talk about Bruno was being played on the radio?
Yep.
That's something that I was thinking about. And I was like, I guess that does stick out in my mind as when was the last time that we had a Disney song that was frequently being played on the radio?
I mean, it broke through pop culture to that extent.
Yeah. So that's a good point. Well, we've got another change that's happening, and it's related to this conversation, so we might as well get on to this next article. We're sticking with WDWmagic.com. And this one, Landon got to have a bit of a victory lap. I'm going to take a victory lap on this one. The opening date has been announced for Epcot's Communicore Hall and details of a new Encanto stage show. So it's announced that Disney will be opening the Communicore Hall and Plaza on June 10th, 2024 in Epcot. If you remember back, Monorail family, I was talking about how it's odd that they're ending the Flower and Garden Festival a little bit early this year, but I said maybe they're clearing the way to do sort of a grand opening of Communicore Hall and like unveil the new, quote unquote, new Epcot. And it looks like that kind of is the case because Flower and Garden will be wrapped up by this time. Communicore Hall can get its little time in the spotlight. It opens up June 10th. And then alongside that, from June 10th to September 6th, there's going to be a new sing-along featuring the beloved story of Encanto. The new limited time show, Celebration Encanto, runs several times throughout the day and will not only invite you and your family to sing along with some of your favorite songs, but also spot Mirabel and Bruno on the newly opened Communicore Plaza stage. So, interesting that Encanto is going to be the focus and will be like taking literally center stage when Communicore Plaza opens. And so there's got to be some connection going on there, I think. And maybe it lends a little credence to in April when we get this D23 announcement or whatever they're going to do. You know, maybe they do a little teaser for what's going on in Animal Kingdom, and then they say, and to celebrate Encanto coming to the parks, we're doing a stage show at Communicore Plaza. Like maybe there's a connection there. I don't know. This is also, by the way, Communicore Hall is also going to be the home to the meet and greet spot for Mickey and Friends. And the surrounding Communicore Plaza will feature a garden with space to view entertainment from a covered performance stage and seating for nearby festival food and drink kiosk. So it'll be nice to have all this opened up, all the walls down. This building looks great. I'm excited to see what all this is going to look like when it's done. But yeah, well, congratulations to me for getting the timing of that right.
For the record, I don't
so proud
remember
of
saying
you.
that. So
I do.
The victory. Nope. Shut up.
I said it twice. You may be the birthday boy,
Okay.
but I brought it up twice.
All right, I'm going to go back
Yeah.
to this Animal Kingdom conversation, tie it into this Epcot conversation.
Yeah.
Since this Epcot, I think the Epcot show makes sense because culture, all
Yeah.
that, bringing people together, all that thing. I think that makes sense. Perfectly great. I will say, though, limited run. So what does this mean in terms of like longevity? Like, are they going to rotate? Are they going to XYZ thing? Because when Coco came out, they changed, like in the pavilions, they like switched out stuff. Like, I wonder if they're going to make some lasting impression or if they're going to switch it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But going back to Landon's point,
Yes.
yes, Landon, I know this movie is super successful and I get all that, whatever, XYZ thing. I don't like the Indiana Jones and I don't think that
Those
I don't
two?
think that works. But I will say, to your point about going through the house, all that, if they can switch if they can switch dinosaur, implement all of that instead of Indiana Jones, I think that would make sense.
That would make more sense.
Not to poo-poo on Indiana Jones,
I
but
would
like,
be so more on board for a dark Encanto ride. Like
I think that would be cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
If
would
they
be
did
so
that.
awesome.
I don't think the two together make sense. I don't think, like, I think you could make Encanto work because of there are animal elements. There are, like, the architecture would make sense in Animal Kingdom. You can have a very valid argument for that, and I'm not poo-pooing that. I'm just saying y'all throwing some things to the wind that don't necessarily make sense together.
It's an odd pairing. Yeah.
That's where my problem is. Like, I can't see that. So I think you pick one or the other. I don't think you do both. But that's just me.
And I'm sorry, remind me, because I think you are getting Zootopia, right? Because they're retheming It's Tough to Be a Bug to do Zootopia.
Oh, yeah, it's a
That's
show,
right.
though.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a 3D show, but Zootopia is coming to the park. It's going to be there a little bit.
But it's not enough for Stephers.
I know.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
I
it'll
know.
be fine. But I will say, this is smarter than doing, like, I think you do Encanto the ride, Zootopia the show, stop while you're ahead, do this Encanto show at Epcot, because that makes sense. Like, culturally, that makes sense. Stop while you're ahead. Why you got to put Indiana Jones there? Get that away from here.
If we're being honest, if you look at the box office return for the last Indiana Jones movie, it didn't exactly light the world on fire.
It did not. No. I think, honestly, it's got to be a budget decision, because they're like, we already have it. We don't have to really design much. Yes, we're going to have to do some TLC, and maybe they upgrade some of the effects. But since the ride is already there, you've got all of the foundation.
Ugh.
You know, I just think that's why that
think
choice
you're
is
right,
happening.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
I think you're right. But talking on the Celebration Encanto, I think this is a really cool addition. I am kind of like eyebrow raised. It's a limited time show. So it's like, enjoy it while you can. I just want to say, if this is half as good as the Frozen sing-along in Hollywood Studios, this is going to be amazing, because I love that Frozen sing-along in Hollywood Studios. And I'm curious if this is a limited time run, and then we're going to shift it to the Animal Kingdom when the Encanto area is open.
Yeah. Oh, so there could be like a stage show.
Play?
Yeah, that's true. That's interesting. They could do that. I think the reason, if I'm just trying to see into the future, the reason that it's going to stop in September is because I bet they will end up using that stage for food and wine.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So that's probably why it's going to get switched out. And then maybe seasonally, who knows? Like maybe during Flower and Garden in the future, there's going to be an Encanto stage show on the Communicore Plaza stage. I don't know.
That'd be cool to bring it back seasonally, because I mean, like, honestly, Flower and Garden is an easier tie to Encanto than Animal Kingdom, because I mean, one of the dang characters just makes flowers appear as opposed to just talks to animals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's cool. I don't know. We'll see. It's interesting. It's so funny we're talking about all this on April 1st, because there could be a lot of answers we're going to get here this week during D23.
Oh, 100%. We're literally...
Or we're talking about it on April 1st, and all of this is just a big old elaborate prank from Disney.
That's right.
What if the story we talked about at the beginning is an elaborate prank from Disney and the state of Florida, and they're still slugging it out in the courtroom?
That's true.
Oh, Ron DeSantis, you got us again, you scamp.
April 1st fools a little bit early.
I just think it's funny every time we like say something and we're like, maybe this is going to happen. And then literally like 2 days later, or the day later, it's like, here we go.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we know Disney's listening.
Yeah. Well, they let us. Hey, as far as the listeners know, maybe we're the ones getting the leaked information, and that's why we're so tied into what ends up being announced. I mean, who knows?
Also true.
Run with that on April 1st.
Peek behind the curtain.
Hey, here's an upgrade coming to a place that you don't have to have a ticket for. There is going to be a drone show doing a temporary run over at Disney Springs.
It's like we alluded to that.
I know. Another thing that we've been talking about, drones and drone rumors, and they are coming to fruition. This show is going to be called Dreams That Soar.
Disney Dreams That Soar.
Disney Dreams That Soar. At Disney Springs, drones will dazzle the skies above Lake Buena Vista with Disney Dreams That Soar. The late night visitors will see a showcase of Disney stories celebrating the joy of flight with state-of-the-art drones choreographed to create designs in the sky and paired with a soaring musical score. So I assume Patrick Warburton's going to do the voiceover. The drone show will run nightly from May 24th through September 2nd. So another limited time thing. I don't know how they determine the timing of that, but I also think this is a bit of a test to see how it goes, and maybe it leads to something a little more long term.
Wait, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to this Encanto situation. What if they?
For somebody who doesn't like Encanto stuff, you sure do talk about it a lot.
Listen, it's like the Moana thing. You just gotta accept it and move on. Anyway, moving on. What if they try to do a little drone situation? Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can do drones, right? That doesn't affect animals.
At Animal Kingdom,
right? Yeah. So they're testing it so that they can use that in it, you know what I mean? Incorporate that. That would make it a little bit more of a what's the word?
Animal friendly.
Suitable. Animal friendly, like a suitable show for Animal Kingdom. I'm just saying.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, but yes, limited run. Excited to see these soaring things.
Soaring dreams.
Dreams. Yes, soaring dreams. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I love a drone show. I've been jealous of the one that I keep seeing the videos for over in Disneyland Paris. I think this will be interesting. I think the issue is always going to be the weather in Central Florida, especially in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I was about to throw a weather-dependent caveat in at the end of your announcement of the dates and stuff like that, because hell, Jay, you live down there, but we've been down to Central Florida, especially during the summer. It's like, all right, it's all nice. Wait, why is the sky all dark and gloomy, and now it's raining in sheets? And in 10 minutes, it's gone. The hell is going on down here? How do people live?
It's true. So that'll be sort of an interesting little wrench that might get thrown into the drones, but I hope I get to see it. I didn't get to see the holiday one that they did at Disney Springs, so. And I guess, I can always plan to make a special trip over there. I'm sure that when I do that, it's going to be like, oh, guess what? It's a thunderstorm night, and they're not doing it. So
I'm also curious where the quote unquote best viewing is going to be for this. Like where's going to be the launch zone? So to speak.
Yeah, I'm sort of envisioning it to be. I'm picturing it like if you were sitting at Jacques Lindsay and you were looking over the water, like where all those...
I was literally thinking the same thing.
Yeah. I bet you that would be a good spot over there where the boathouse is.
That would be dope, yeah.
Sort of looking out over the water. I bet it's going to be over there. I don't know, but that would be my guess.
If that's where it ends up being launched from, that would be some primo seating. Like you mentioned the boathouse. Get that very late dinner reservation and request to sit outside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the boathouse has like a nice dock bar too. You can walk down the dock and they've got a little bar out there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I have a question. I don't know if we really will know the answer to this because we don't live in Paris. With the drones, it's like what's the word? Like a three-dimensional kind of vibe. Like, do you have to be in a specific spot for you to really enjoy it, or is a drone show catered to the masses in terms of like anyone can enjoy it from anywhere kind of vibe?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess they could kind of rotate whatever they're showing in the sky a little bit, but I do think that it's better to be like, there would definitely be a focal point, like a best viewing side, which is why I don't think you'd put it like central. Like, of course, they don't want it flying over people anyway, but I don't think you'd put it like central over Disney Springs. I think that, the reason I'm picturing it the way it is, if you look at Disney Springs, it's like a half moon shape, and then the lagoon is out that way. So I think most of that side, like even outside of the new summer house, you could go down. There's the Starbucks right there. Get you a Starbucks. Go down right by the water. Oh, imagine if you were up in the balloon. I don't know if they'll fly the balloon during the drone show,
Probably not.
But that would be kind of cool if you were up there and you were almost like eye level with the drone. That'd be really cool. So
that might be a little disorienting, but also cool.
Yeah,
it could be two things, Land.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's another weather dependent thing that they do. Because on windy or stormy days, you can't go up in the balloon. So those two things.
I will say that's a bucket list item of mine, is to go up in that balloon.
I've never done it either. Yeah.
We should do it. I'm kind of afraid. Like the Doom Tower, Dr. Doom Freefall.
Yeah.
Like that is a little jarring, but like the balloon seems like a slow and steady kind of vibe that maybe I will hate heights. I don't know. We'll see. But we should do that next time I'm down.
I agree. Put it on the list, Stephers.
I thought you were making the list, Justin.
Oh, I wasn't.
Oh, no.
So I got a couple more things. I'm going to save the Tiana discussion. We'll talk about it next week because we've still got some time before Tiana opens up.
And we might actually get a launch date at D23.
Yeah. So we can hold off on that. But a couple quick hitters here before we move on to Universal news. The Walt Disney Theater has reopened at Hollywood Studios with refreshed seats and carpet and accessibility changes. So this is according to blogmickey.com. After more than 2 months of refurbishment, the Walt Disney Theater is now open again at the end of the Walt Disney Presents exhibit at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And this, I don't know if have either of you ever gone and watched that show?
Yes.
I actually have.
It's a good show. It actually gets me choked up a little bit watching it.
Yeah, it's a fun little history of Walt and his family, his story, how he got here, and it also has air conditioning and seats, which I'm a big fan of for a long day.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, so this is good news. Nice little upgrade to the theater. I love to see that they've given it some love and didn't just get rid of it. So they were doing a Percy Jackson preview there apparently, and now the One Man's Dream film has returned, and they haven't changed the film. So good stuff. Glad that's back. If you all have never checked that out at Hollywood Studios, I do recommend, especially if you're a Disney nerd, if you're a parks nerd, if you love the history of just Walt Disney and his story, go check out that museum. A lot of cool exhibits, and then you get to see a lot of really cool park history in there as well. And then check out the movie. I do recommend that.
Yeah, 100% cosign on that. Especially if you're a Parks fan, it like you can really see. There's the mural that stands out to me is the Jungle Cruise one, where they pretty much all right, this is going to be the attraction. They have a mural like a mini that they make, and they okay, cool. Let's make the big old one now.
Yeah,
and they did. It's incredible.
Yes, I love seeing the scale models. Those are so cool.
So cool.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that. So definitely check that out. And then another thing that has returned, and this is across the parks, according to www.magic.com, third mention today, Disney has announced cast to guest lanyard pin trading will fully return on April 7th, 2024. Now, I myself have never really gotten into pin trading because I feel like I'll break myself. I'll spend all of the money on pins if I do that. But I know, I talk to people who have grown up going to the parks and they really got into pin trading, and they'd bring their lanyards and their binders full of pins, and they loved trading with cast members and trying to collect, rare ones and different things like that. So this was something that stopped, of course, during pandemic times. Glad to see it coming back. Very, very exciting. Landon, I know you sort of dipped your toes into some pins. Are you interested at all in getting involved in the pin trading when you come back?
I did dip my toes into the pin trading water there very briefly, and when I was doing it, I thought it was very cool. But much like you, I quickly realized with my addictive personality, this would only end poorly for me. So I do own some pins. I have done some pin trading, but I already do enough things where I spend my money in questionable ways. I say as I sit at my kitchen table surrounded by let's call them a baker's dozen worth of magic decks, a binder of magic cards, and I spend my money in dumb ways elsewhere. Not calling pins dumb, because I do think they have a lot of really cool designs, but I know if I get into pin trading, it will only end in financial ruin.
Exactly.
I am glad that it is returning guest to or team member. Damn it! One more time. Cast member to team member. It's my birthday. Shut up. Cast member to guest. There it is. Pin trading is returning. I didn't realize that that had still been halted since the pandemic. And once again, this is just another step back to, as I lovingly like to refer to it, normalcy.
That's right, normalcy. Steffers, Steffers, have you ever?
That was a lot. I need to lay down.
Have you ever gotten into the pins at all? Is that something you do?
So Disney, I have I have one full set. The Happiness Is set. I have that full one, and then they came out with the Mulan sword pin set, and I am literally missing one pin, which is very obnoxious.
Which one are you missing? Let's put it out there. Maybe one of our listeners can.
I'm pretty sure it's the Poe one. It's one of the hilt. I think it's the right side of the sword hilt. Okay. I'm missing that one. I have the left. I need the right.
Okay.
Listeners, for my birthday, hook Steffers up with that one.
Thanks. And then I have a bajillion Jurassic Park pins. I have a Stitch and Angel, like just kind of like a twofer set.
That's her name.
E.T. I have E.T. But I like do it on things like I really enjoy or like I'm really a fan of. So
yeah,
Mulan is probably my most.
My thing has always been like, and I think that the way people do it is they'll end up buying like pins in bulk sometimes, and then they bring like duplicates or ones they just really don't want, and they trade them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look to trade them off.
But I've always been like, if I got into buying pins, I would buy ones that I like, and I don't want to trade those away.
Yeah, well, and kind of what you said, when I was into pin trading, I did buy a batch in bulk and for the specific purpose of trading them off. But then it was like also what you said, it's like I just wanted to buy the ones that I liked, and then I didn't want to trade those off. So it's like I would trade off the ones that I got in bulk, but then there was the whole like rabbit hole of like, well, did you buy counterfeit pins? What if the pins you're trading for are counterfeit pins? And then it's like, oh God, that's the thing. Nope, I'm out.
Yeah.
I also, sorry, going back to pins, I do the bulk because if it's a mystery set, then obviously I buy stupid amount for no reason. And then the duplicates of those I'll trade. So like I have a bunch of duplicates of like the Happiness Is, and I also have duplicates of the Mulan sword set. But also I forgot, now I buy a pin, or I try to buy a pin if there's one that's cute, every state that I visit, because my mug collection
taking up too much room.
I've been told I'm not allowed to buy more mugs. So I decided I'm buying pins and stickers.
They take
so
up
like
less
I
space.
like decorate my cups and
I love this
you guys can't see.
Steffers, did you realize that you're a pin collector before you answered Jay's question? Because it sounds like you're a pin collector.
I didn't know that you were.
Yeah, it's low key. I posted a picture in this chat that we are currently talking in. But yeah, it's something I dabble in. I'm also a book collector, if we really want to get technical. But you don't
we knew.
We don't need to talk about how many books I own.
Well, I don't think there's a. Let me see if I can stick the landing on this one. A cast member to guest book trading club.
All right, hear me out though.
There should be.
There should be. Thank you. There should be.
Yeah.
Get some learning in yous.
For those who read, and I'm not one of them.
I am not either.
All right. Well,
only pictures.
That's going to wrap up the Disney news, but I really wanted to get to this a little more quickly than we did today because it's pretty big news. we got a big announcement from Universal last week. They have unveiled one of the 5 worlds that we're going to experience at Epic Universe. Stephers, tell us what we learned from Universal.
Blah, 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 drum roll. That was my tongue just going crazy. You're welcome, everyone. We learned the latest land has been unveiled. It is the How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. Not to be confused with Island, because it is not Island. It is Isle, friends. They ran down if you got one of the coins, the latest coin they sent to all the influencers and content creators. But we have a new look. So Hiccup's Wing Gliders is a family thrill coaster, which reaches speeds up to 45 miles per hour.
That's pretty
You'll
quick.
Fly alongside Hiccup and Toothless. Like, 35 for a family coaster, though?
Yeah.
Like, how fast does Big Thunder go? I feel like Big Thunder goes.
Oh, there's no way it goes that fast. I'll Google it right now.
I don't think it
Google
goes that fast.
Well, this is also Universal, so things are a little bit faster. The Untrainable Dragon, inspired by Universal's Beijing Resort's wildly successful Untrainable show.
Yeah.
This is a dragon-filled live spectacular, which will take guests on an unforgettable journey with beloved characters Hiccup, Toothless, Dauber, and Astrid. So the show looks cool. There are renderings online. I'm reading this off of a Wesh News article because we're official now.
Yeah.
This might be my favorite thing.
Oh.
Maybe. Just maybe. Fire Drill is a teams of Vikings to compete to outscore and out-soak each other on this wet and wild boat battle.
Yep.
Guests will board a colorful dragon-headed boat and blast water cannons at flame-like targets to practice putting out fires, a crucial skill to master when living with dragons.
Yeah,
let's be real. I only
makes
like
sense.
this because of the water aspect. like let's just be realistic here. What is this? Okay, this is something Stephers is not doing. I'm already nauseated by the rendering. Dragon Racers Rally. Berk's new Vikings racers, that sounded wrong, can practice aerobatic maneuvers and high-speed barrel rolls on 2 Viking-made dragon-riding trainers that reach heights of up to 67 feet in the air. Guests can control how wild or mild their experience will be as they perform high-flying, gravity-defying, swooping, and soaring skills that are necessary to earn the accolades worthy of a true champion dragon racer. Okay, I understand you can control this.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's like a more trustworthy fair ride.
Sort of,
me.
yeah.
It's given too much.
It will make me nauseous, but I'm going to do it.
By the way, 36
sure.
miles per hour. That's the max speed of
Big Thunder, yeah.
Oh, that's a good speed. A little bit faster than Big Thunder, I think would be.
Yeah.
I like fast. For coasters, I'm all about speed versus loop-dees and twisties and. Also, so these are just some of the attractions. There is also a Viking training camp for the junior Vikings, and I think this is going to be very not Camp Jurassic vibes, but like Isle of Berk, How to Train Your Dragon, but whatever. Junior Vikings will learn everything they need to know about dragons as they climb, slide, and explore their way through this sprawling interactive adventure play camp.
Yeah. Looks cool.
This is cute.
Wish I was a kid.
I like it. You can pretend.
It's okay. If you get drafted by the Vikings in the upcoming NFL draft, I'm sure you can go to training.
That's true.
Okay.
Yes, this right here. This is the main event, y'all. Screw the rides. This is what Landon's here for.
I knew Landon would love this. I don't even know which content creator I saw online, but apparently this either is a thing or was a thing. I don't know if it was at a premiere. I don't even know, but there is going to be a Hiccup and Toothless meet and greet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me say that one more time. Toothless and Hiccup meet and greet.
Yeah.
Anyway. Throughout the day, it's not just them, but throughout the day, guests may also encounter other familiar Vikings and dragons while exploring Berk.
That's cool.
That's not all. That's just not all. And then there are shops and restaurants.
Hey, don't gloss over that. That's what I'm excited about. Mead Hall.
Listen, I'm
Okay,
scrolling
all
down.
right.
I'm gonna need you.
I thought you were just like done with it.
We could go to a Viking mead hall. I mean, like short of us fighting each other and meeting in the glorious halls of Valhalla. I mean, like mead hall.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes. The savory menu featuring a variety of meats, fish, sandwiches, and more, along with a collection of meads and ciders. Let me tell you, I'll be there for the ciders because I don't like me a beer, but. I'm excited.
Mead is not a beer. Having a bunch of mead on the menu, that is a choice, Universe.
Yeah, mead is a honey-based drink.
What is that? All right. Well, I don't drink mead. I don't know what mead is. Listen, I'll try it once, but listen, the theming of this
I'm predicting
looks
right
great.
now, Stephers will not like mead.
Probably not. No.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys know me better than I know myself because I probably wouldn't.
No, Stephers, we're just alcoholics, so we know.
I'm interested, though. It doesn't look like it from the rendering, and I don't know why my brain went here, but I'm assuming there's not going to be any sort of entertainment in this mead hall. I don't know if they're like characters that walk around or like a little mini show. Like, it doesn't look like it, but the theming looks really nice in here. I wonder how big this is actually going to be, though.
I can't wait to mobile order my mead and then move along.
Wait, but there is a quick service option, Spitfire Grill, overlooking the action of the Fire Drill water attraction. That sounds dangerous. Spitfire Grill is a quick service dining location featuring delicious hearty meals, flame seared by a helpful unseen dragonfire cook.
Wow.
Sounds great to me. And then Hooligans Grog and Gruel. Guests can grab quick bites at this festive racing-themed food stand located in the Viking camp.
Yeah.
I mean... there's
and plenty of
sit
shops.
down, quick service, grab and go. Like, they got options. Also, I do want to say for this fire drill situation, is it the fire drill situation? One of these renderings has like a splash zone. So if anyone has been, it is the wing gliders. The wing gliders, I guess, go over the water, and it looks like something similar to the Jurassic Park ride where there's a splash zone. I think there might be a splash zone for this ride as well. So just something to keep in
it
mind.
looks like in the rendering, the guests that are standing beside the fence and watching it go by, they're like running away from the water. So I think it's going to be more for the spectators.
Yeah. Spectator splash.
Yeah.
Splashy. But I mean, it looks pretty great. I'm just saying.
There's a child cowering in fear from the water that's being splashed.
Always what you want in your artist rendering when you make a big announcement, especially from a theme park.
Yeah.
Bring the kids; they'll be terrified. Universal.
This
that's a Fun Spot USA slogan.
This Wesh article doesn't have this specific rendering, but the facade of the Mead Hall.
Yeah.
Looks so cool.
Yeah. Well, so what Universal did, it was like when they dropped the 3D fly-through of Epic Universe at large. They released another 3D fly-through, but this one was focused on the Isle of Berk. And yeah, it just looks incredible. Like if they pull off the theming and the immersion the way it looks like they're going to, this land's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. When they announced the 5 lands, 5 islands that was going to make up Epic Universe, this was one of those. It's like, okay, this is going to be cool. I like the How to Train Your Dragon movies, but after seeing and hearing what is going to entail in the Isle of Berk, this might be the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
I think it's a sleeper. It's a sleeper.
I really do. And I know they're the Harry Potter fans out there. Oh, but what about the Ministry of Magic? And it's like even me as a video game fan, like being able to experience Super Mario World, I know is going to be super awesome. But I mean, like everything that they've put forward, I know this is all artist rendering, card subject to change, to borrow a term from another world, and this all could change. But I am a big fan of everything, with the exception of the water attraction that they've announced for Isle of Berk. I think this looks really, really awesome.
I'm interested, and I want to say I said this when we talked about my brain, Celestial Park. Is that what we talked about? Yeah. I'm interested to know, which obviously 3D renderings aren't going to have, but it's giving, like, let me sit down, lounge, and, like, people watch. Like, can you imagine just sitting and being immersed in the world and not really, like, obviously go on the attractions and, like, eat the food, like, do all that. But, like, I very much can see myself just sitting here and taking it in and just, like, enjoying the scenery.
Oh, and you're going to have the How to Train Your Dragon musical score going on in that land.
Oh.
Like, it's
Just saying.
It's going to be great. Like, really. Like, and by the way, something I was thinking about, this is the first land reveal. I'm thinking, if the first one is this impressive, I can't wait to see what the rest of them are going to look like.
Yeah, is this going to turn into me saying after every land reveal, yeah, this is the one that I'm looking forward to the most?
Yeah. I mean, my goodness gracious. Like, it really, and I know we said this just when we were talking, we did the breaking news show about Epic and watching the fly through. We were like, it looks like they're taking what they did with Harry Potter Land, they're blowing it up to a whole park. Like, no kidding, that's really what they're doing. I'm expecting every one of these reveals for each one of the lands to be this impressive. And I'm going to be feeling like, just like you, Landon, everyone's going to top the last one. It's so exciting. Like, wow, this looks really, really cool. I'm excited. When I first saw the Hiccups Wing Gliders family coaster, they call it a family thrill coaster, by the way, which I think is kind of interesting. I was like, yeah, I don't know. But then, like, as I've read about it and I saw the renderings, like, yeah, I'm going to ride that ride.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The one
I wonder.
Also, by the way, the Untrainable Dragon show looks amazing.
No kidding. Like I've only seen clips of it because it's up and running in Universal Beijing. But I mean, well, rather, it's inspired by the show. It's not going to be, at least I think, a copy-paste iteration from the Universal Beijing one. But, oh, man, that thing looks awesome.
So cool.
They haven't said the order in which they are revealing these lands. So now, Speculation Nation, I'm wondering what order. What are we doing next?
I think
are they going to save?
Be last.
Is it?
Yeah,
or
I
is
think
Super
you're right.
Nintendo going to be last because we already know about it?
See, but my argument, I think when we had the conversation on the breaking news show, I actually thought they were going to do the Super Nintendo World reveal first because we already know about it. I mean, there may be there's going to be a little new twist and it'll be a little different, but I actually thought it would be first. So my guess is that's going to be the next one, I think. But
I want this Dark Universe. Like, don't get me wrong. Ministry of Magic, cool, great.
They're going to save Dark Universe for when Halloween Horror Night news is either starting to leak out or is officially.
It's about time.
It's right now.
It's coming
up.
It's
about that time, Landon.
It's about that time.
Maybe that'll be the next one that gets posted.
It could be. But I do think you're right. I think Ministry of Magic will be last.
Because that's for better or for worse,
the
big
moneymaker
ace in the hole.
Yeah.
The moneymaker. Yep.
And they're going to shake their moneymaker.
That Steffer decided to break out.
Listen, I live in the South. Let me just live my life.
Yeah.
I really wish I took a screenshot of how the tiles were before we did this. The order of the tiles. Because the new one goes in the front, but I don't know where these things led. Anyway, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, coming to an epic universe near you. 2025.
Woo! Man,
I want to make me some dragons.
Yeah. I got to meet a dragon. And I'm going to learn how to train them.
Me too.
Yeah. Steffers.
Yes.
I was excited. This isn't nearly as big as the previous news that you just shared, but I was excited for this little rumor here. I pulled this Orlando Park Stop article. It's for me, but also I wanted you to tee it up.
I actually heard this rumor too, and I don't. The date on this article actually is funny because of the date. But
yeah, I know it's old.
Who are you gonna call, Justin?
I know who I'm gonna call. I'm calling the boys in the onesies.
Do what?
I'm literally not okay. Anyway, there's a rumor that a Ghostbusters return to Universal Studios Florida may or may not happen. And with Halloween Horror Night season coming around the corner, let's just dream. Yeah. Dream big.
Dream a little dream.
Dream a little dream. Listen, I love me some Ghostbusters. The Ghostbusters house at Halloween Horror Nights. Quality.
It was great. One of the only
still bring
ones
it
I
back.
went through that year because my kids were terrified. But I
I
did.
get that.
We love that though.
But I did go through that house.
A rumored concept would be for the return of a special effects show based around the Ghostbusters. It could.
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that a new parade was coming, like based on the classic films. So I did not realize that was happening, but that's exciting. We already knew they were working on a new Lagoon show. So it just makes me feel like, are they bringing back some classics? You know, the Ghostbusters, I'm sure we're going to have some Jaws incorporated in this stuff. We got to have some Back to the Future.
Incorporate Jaws.
Yeah, we got to have some Back to the Future. We got to have some Kong. And E.T. Don't forget E.T.
I was gonna,
Don't forget
it. I was waiting for it.
But that's
Stephers
that.
over there sharpening her knife like, you better say.
Yeah. But I'd love to see the Ghostbusters return. One of the things that I read, and again, this article that we're referring to is from mid-February, so it's quite old. But back in that time, I remember seeing a tweet, and I'm going to give Alicia Stella credit for this because she's the one that always finds this stuff and breaks the news. But pretty sure it was her that tweeted out that Universal had purchased Ecto 1.
The original one back in end of January?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
So like when I saw this included in the news rundown, it's like, okay, it's like kind of thought we already talked, but y'all talking the parade's coming back and include. Okay, I guess there is smoke to that fire.
Yeah.
Always.
Good stuff. Notoriously, the Ghostbusters Spooktacular special effects show was like a traumatizing thing that happened to small Justin when I went to Universal Studios back in the early 90s. I wish I could have experienced it as an adult because I think I would love it. But yeah, back in those days, it was not the thing for me. It ran from 1990 to 1996. And I wonder if it closed partially just because it was such a heavy special effects show that it took a lot of work and maintenance and stuff.
Well, new times. We're in 2024. Bring it on back.
Yeah.
And it does seem like we're kind of going through a Ghostbusters renaissance. I mean, last week, Frozen Empire?
Frozen Empire? Yeah.
It came out. So, I mean, and that's what the second new Ghostbuster movie we've gotten in the last 3 years. And then before that, we had the all-female Ghostbuster movie not too far before that. So it seems like the Ghostbuster IP is as prevalent as it has been since the original two came out. And for the first time in forever, the remaining Ghostbusters seem willing to play ball, which for the longest time, Bill Murray was the lone holdout.
Yeah.
And now Bill Murray is back on board. So, I mean, if you can get everybody who is a Ghostbuster willing to play ball, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wish Harold
You get a call.
Oh, I'm excited. This is great. Such great Universal news today.
Honestly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, Landon.
Thanks, Stephers.
Yeah,
I think this is awesome. I love me some Ghostbusters. Growing up, Little Land, Ghostbusters, other than Ninja Turtles and Hulk Hogan, was some of his favorite things in the world. So the fact that Ghostbusters is coming back to Universal Studios, maybe, possibly, probably, hell yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things.
Not going to Halloween Horror Night. Don't even ask.
One of the things they mentioned in this article was that Universal filed a trademark application for the name the Universal Mega Movie Parade last fall. I also grabbed a screen capture and included it in the show notes because apparently they have filed a new trademark application, and this is related to the Lagoon show. And they're calling it something that's going to be hard for me to say, especially after a couple hours at Finnegan's.
Would you like me to
go for it?
Cinesational,
Yeah.
a symphonic spectacular.
Too much sibilance.
There is a lot of in that. Anyway, you know what it's giving? It's giving all our favorite sounds and like all of it in a show. Mm-hmm. And I am excited.
Yeah. They've been doing a ton of work on that lagoon. A lot.
They really have.
They've been installing a lot of infrastructure out there. By the way, Disney could take note because it's all like water level. It doesn't like block any views or anything. Looking at you.
I did not say that. I just want to let everyone know.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely nothing.
I'm just saying. I appreciate the fact they're going very low profile with all of the infrastructure, so it does not cause an eyesore and block the view of World Showcase Lagoon. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm talking about something else. But yeah, no, that's exciting. So we got a big parade. We got a big lagoon show. Incorporating, embracing the classics. Universal, you're doing it right. You're hitting all the notes right now. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud.
And they got Epic Universe coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, go to Universal.
Coming up Millhouse.
I'm just saying. Anyway.
Good stuff. Thank you, Stephers.
Mm-hmm. Listen.
Well, as we
for me, we'd be talking about SeaWorld.
I was going to say,
hold on. During Dawes Does Disney, I was very much, it's not Disney versus Universal. It's Disney and Universal.
Of course.
Of course. And it's also not Disney versus Universal versus SeaWorld. It is, we're all together.
Besmirching me on this, the day of my birth.
We will not.
How dare you?
Will not.
We will not. Instead, we will talk about your favorite park.
Also, I may or may not be saving up pennies to get a Universal annual pass once.
Woo! There you go.
Also, how much do you think they're going to jack up the APs once that third gate opens?
I'm guessing 20% at least.
So do you think I should get in now? Maybe they'll grandfather me in.
Well, I mean, don't you get like a bit of a renewal discount? Yeah.
You'd get an upgrade. That's the thing, though. Are they going to do a 4-park pass? Are they going to do a single pass just to Epic? There are different tiers. Like, what are they even going to do? Because they have the 2-park and then Volcano Bay, but you just get a 3-park. You don't get one just for Volcano Bay. You can just get a day ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So then when Epic comes, is it going to be its own tiered thing where you can get the 2 for Universal Islands and Volcano Bay and Epic? Or is it going to be the 2 for, the 3 for, and then Epic's standalone anyway?
Yeah,
because that's a lot of
they very
content.
Easily could put Epic in its own tier.
That's true. Mm-hmm. And actually, I mean, that would kind of be smart on their part, because there may be people, like if they jack up the price of the multi-park annual pass, there may be people who are like, well, I was debating keeping it, but I don't think I'm going to. But if they keep it somewhat like in line, of course it's going to go up. It goes up every year, but somewhat in line for the 2 parks in Volcano Bay. But then you could also get the ultimate pass that has the Epic Pass that has all 3 of the parks.
Totally call it the Epic Pass.
Yeah, it's possible. So I don't know. We'll see. That's a good question. It's a fair question, and it's one I don't have the answer.
I'm just saying, because there's no park hopping. At Epic it is land,
right?
But it's 1 park,
and it's a bus ride.
And it's exactly. So it's like.
Yeah, they still need to figure out the whole transportation for Epic and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, hold on, let me just. Currently, a 3-park AP, I think this is for Florida residents, but maybe, oh no, it's not a Florida resident. It's about $1,100 for the Premier. Mm-hmm. But with the Premier, you get the Express and you get HHN.
Yeah, you get a ticket.
One. So are they still going to try to bundle and magically still be on par with Disney annual pass? I don't know. I'd pay a little bit more.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd pay a little bit more.
Yeah.
And have it all. Just saying. Anyway, let's go back to SeaWorld. We were going to talk about Landon's favorite park.
I was just going to say, we are, of course, contractually obligated to mention SeaWorld since we're the official podcast of SeaWorld.
That's true.
I just want to say,
not an April Fool's Day joke.
I was handing out my accolades to Universal, saying how proud I am. I'm proud of SeaWorld for finally nailing down their concert lineup for the Seven Seas Food Festival concert. Now, keep in mind
that is ... currently ongoing.
Yes, keep in mind that the Seven Seas Food Festival has been going for about a month at this point, but we finally have a final concert lineup. And here's what we were waiting for. They added the Baja Men to the lineup. They added
the dogs out.
Somebody. They added Owl City, who I don't think have had a hit.
You would not believe your eyes.
Right?
Wow.
10 million Fireflies. What do you mean? Classics.
Man,
These are classics, Justin. Why are you poo-pooing on them?
I'm having flashbacks to selling T-shirts at Hot Topic right now. Give me 1 second, guys. Tiffany and Sheena Easton. Fuel, another golden oldie.
the Little River Band, Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo.
Didn't Jason just perform at did he not do Mardi Gras this year?
No.
I guess he didn't do Mardi Gras
He did
this year.
not. No.
He did it last year.
All for One. I mean, come on. That to me is a real, that hits in the nostalgia. And then
That's what I mean.
I definitely did some roller skating to some All for One songs back in the day. And then Gavin DeGraw.
I love Gavin DeGraw. Do not poo-poo Gavin
I'm not.
DeGraw right now.
Gavin DeGraw performed at the Citrus Bowl. I got to see him at halftime.
How did you?
I love him. I am a huge One Tree Hill fan, and
That was
I
exciting.
wanted to see him when I was in college. He came to Fort Myers, and then he got sick right before the show, and he canceled the show, and I cried.
Yeah. The fun. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that he canceled the show, Stephers.
It's okay.
But I will say I had no idea he was going to be performing at the Citrus Bowl this year, and the only reason I keep remembering is I go through my pictures and I took a video because I was like, oh my God, it's Gavin DeGraw.
Wow, his performance was that inspiring. You felt it. It's like not only do I need to capture this, nay, not in picture form, but in video form.
Yeah.
So I can remember his sweet moves and his sweet vocal styling.
That's right. I think I did it initially because I intended to send it to Stephers, and then I never did. And now all it does is serve as a memory for me because I'm like, oh yeah, he was there.
And it also serves as a chunk of memory on your phone.
It's true. Well, it's in the cloud.
At least you thought of me in theory. You thought of me in theory.
I did think of you at the time. I was like, Stephers would be so thrilled with this. Maybe
I would.
I don't know if that would have been reason enough for you to go to the Citrus Bowl, but who knows?
I don't know what that means, but I will gladly go to the Seven Seas. Wait, what is this thing called? I'll gladly go to SeaWorld for the 420 concert of Gavin DeGraw.
Oh, is he on 420? Uh-oh.
Yep.
Oh man.
Happy Record Store. Is that Record Store Day 422 or 419? What day is Record Store Day?
I don't know. I just know 420 has a
420. Record Store Day is
Something.
420.
it has another
I know.
Appropriate.
association with
Didn't
it.
get Snoop Dogg. It probably would have been more.
Yeah,
never mind.
or Luda.
Anyway.
Luda should have played 420. But he'll be later. Well, anyways, congratulations, SeaWorld. I'm glad you locked down your festival lineup, and it sounds like it's going to be a great time. But speaking of announcements, we've got a big announcement here to wrap up the show. Landon, it is time for the unveiling of your special year-long birthday announcement.
Yeah, this is something that I've been vaguely teasing. It started when we had the special episode with the Dillos to close out 2023, talking about things we wanted to do in 2024. And I referenced this thing and said I was going to make an announcement on my birthday leading to my 40th birthday. Today is my 39th birthday, but I feel very fortunate or blessed, as it were, on this Easter Sunday in my life, both professionally and personally. Personally, I have a loving and supportive family, an amazing group of friends that I've made both, in the traditional way of, hanging out, going to bars, class and stuff like that. And then the not so traditional way through podcasts, like this, talking about Disney and stuff like that. And on the professional side, I've somehow convinced somebody to give me a paycheck to have fun behind a microphone with my friends for a living. And I feel so very lucky to be working in radio for a living. But in both of these instances, I've been given a platform. And no matter how big or small that platform is, I believe that you should use your platform for good. And I want to use my platform to help some people. So today is April 1st, 2024. My birthday, my 39th birthday, but I have an eye towards the future, looking 1 year ahead to April 1st, 2025, my 40th birthday. And, a lot of people, 40th birthday or a 30th birthday, the zeros birthdays, they say is a milestone birthday. And I already made the joke earlier. Most people say you only turn 40 once. And generally, I'm not the type of person that celebrates or makes a big deal out of my birthday. But next year, because it is a milestone birthday and because of the occasion, I want to do something different. And y'all know me. I like going down to the Disney parks in my free time. And one of my favorite attractions is Epcot's Living with the Land. And You know, that's an attraction that tells the history of how Mother Nature has formed the world around us and has worked with us as humans through the history of farming and agriculture, and culminates in a luscious working greenhouse where Disney grows all sorts of amazing plants and vegetables that they then send to various restaurants on property and to other spots, so that not only does this look cool and beautiful for the attraction as you cruise through on your boat, the food doesn't go to waste. And that last thought, the food not going to waste, made me think of one of my favorite organizations in East Tennessee, in Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. This incredible group of people serves 18 counties in East Tennessee, covering 8,000 square miles, to help combat over 230,000 East Tennesseans, from little itty bitty babies to the elderly, that are experiencing hunger more often than they should. So that gave me an idea. Granted, I will admit this is a stupid idea, but it's a stupid idea for a great cause. April 1st, 2025, I, Landon Doan, will rope drop at Epcot, and from, quote Jay-Z, grand opening to grand closing, will ride Living with the Land as many times as I can that day, stopping only for bathroom breaks and food and beverages. Now, I say that, you might be asking, okay, cool. Where does Second Harvest come into all of this? I want to raise money for Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. So I want to collect pledges for each time that I ride Living with the Land. So, for example, if you want to pledge $2 per ride of me on Living with the Land, and I manage to ride it, say, 11 times that day on April 1st, 2025, you would then donate $22 to Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. And guys, we're going to call it Living with the Landon. The money that I raise is going to be earmarked for the Foods for Kids program, which provides food challenged children in East Tennessee with a backpack of food over the weekend to make sure that they have something to eat when they can't count on breakfast and lunch that they would receive from school Monday through Friday. And not only that, this program continues all year round, meaning that these kids are getting their meals when they're out of school during the summer. It's incredible what Second Harvest can do with your donations. And hopefully this time next year, on this day next year, we can raise a whole lot of money for these kids. And hopefully we're going to have a website up and running shortly. I'm looking and to put together a logo designed for it. So if you know anybody who can help me with that, holla at your boy. That logo is going to be used for social media purposes to let people know about it. I'm hoping to put that logo on a t-shirt. And if we can get the t-shirt made, I'm going to put it on a website that we can sell. Any money made from selling that t-shirt, any money I make, period, from this, I want to iterate this, is going to go to Second Harvest. I'm still trying to figure out the specifics and the logistics of this. I'm gonna be completely honest. I've never done anything like this before. This started with an idea, a stupid idea, but for a good cause. And there's a lot of the logisticals behind the scenes that I'm a little bit overwhelmed on. So I want to just be very upfront. I want to be as transparent as possible as I can about this. Any money that you give to this fundraiser will go to help feed people in East Tennessee. I've said it before, and I truly believe this. Y'all are the best fans in the podcasting game, and some of the best people I've ever met. It's time to put your money where my mouth is, because only then will we truly be living with the Landon.
Beautiful. This is great.
Honestly, living with the Landon, like TM.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, trademark that.
It's great.
Any questions?
And David S. Pumpkins makes an appearance.
Yeah.
No, that's great, Landon. It's obviously a very worthy and amazing cause. I'm definitely in with you on this. Are you planning on having other people collect pledges and ride with you, or is it really just like all the pledges for Landon?
Honestly, I don't know at this point. Like I said, I've never done anything like this, and as much money as we can raise for Second Harvest of East Tennessee, that's the main goal here. Like this is the idea, but as long as we can make some money for Second Harvest of East Tennessee, that's the main goal.
Yeah.
And if, like, I am open to suggestions. I've never done anything like this. I know we've had other fundraising projects on the Monday Morning Monorail. I know some of our friends in the podcasting realm have done stuff like this, and they've done like fundraising goals. Maybe we can look into stuff like that. I am open to suggestions. And like I said, I'm open to suggestions, and I want to be as transparent as possible about this. I've seen other creators, and I hate that term, but I guess technically that's what we kind of are. They've done fundraisers, and they've used those funds for for scrupulous ways. I want to say to you right now, I know this episode's dropping on April 1st, but behind the scenes, we're recording it on March 31st, 2024. I pledge to you, every cent that you donate to this will go to Second Harvest, East Tennessee. Like none of this is going to go to me. None of this is going to go to Landon. I want to help these people because the people that work at Second Harvest are amazing. They can take $1 that you donate and turn it into 3 meals. 3 meals out of $1.
Yeah. Incredibly good organization, and definitely a great cause. So we're definitely gonna, as the information develops, as you define the course and the plan and you build your website, we'll share everything, and all building up to next year's big fundraising event. Well, actually, the whole year is the fundraising event, but culminating with the Living with the Landon Day next year. So very
I got to go ride Living with the Land.
Yeah, as many times as possible.
As many times as possible.
I think next year, April 1st will probably end up being a good day because I think Easter is like at the end of April next year.
Yeah, you and I, we already looked ahead because when I told you I was thinking about doing this, you said, what about Easter? I'm like, oh no. and we looked at the calendar. Easter is towards the end of April, if I believe correctly, for April 20.
For 25, yeah.
Or it's in the middle. So it's not gonna, I'm not gonna run into the Easter crowd. I mean, I might still have to deal with some spring breakers, but I mean, like
April 20th.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
420.
So,
I tried not to say 420, so here we are.
Yeah, 420 comes back into the conversation, but I'm looking forward to doing this, and hopefully I don't let y'all down.
No, you're. I mean, just by the fact that you've got your best intention, your heart's in the right place. You're setting this up to raise money. If you raise a cent, you're doing a good thing. So, and I think you're going to raise a lot more than that.
Oh my God! If I only raise a cent, next year might be my last birthday.
No, come on. Also,
yeah, if you have any ideas to help me out along the way, if you have any advice, if you've done something like this, please reach out to me. You know how to do it on the socials, email. I mean, reach out to the Morning Monorail podcast. Jay can relay those messages to me, I'm sure, unless he's a monster and doesn't want to help feed kids. He didn't say no. That's messed up, dude. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to doing this this time next year. And I'm being completely honest, part of me's a little bit scared. But you know what? Being a little bit scared is okay.
Living with the Land is scary.
Yep. Especially when that big giant dinosaur comes tearing ass through the there at the end.
Yeah. Awesome. That's very good. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a very successful campaign, and we're going to do everything we can to make it as successful as possible. So very good, Landon. Happy birthday, sir.
I appreciate that. And I do want to say I am working hand in hand with the people of Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. So I appreciate that I'm getting work or getting help with y'all on the podcast side as well. And I appreciate all the help that I'm getting locally from the great people of Second Harvest of East Tennessee here, I guess, on the ground as well.
Yeah, thank you, Second Harvest, for sure. So since you're the birthday boy, Landon, and you've got some things that you need to plug so people can get in touch with you, do the plugs.
Oh, okay. You mean LANDOZ. Please go follow me, Landon Doan. I'm the best, Landon Doan, not the rest. That's where you can follow me 280 characters at a time on Twitter. I also appear on the Phil Show, News Talk 98.7 WOKI radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee, streaming 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at newstalk987.com. Also available in the iHeartRadio app and the News Talk 987 app as well. Thank y'all for indulging me in the announcement of Living with the Landon. I do truly mean what I said when I said that y'all are the best fans in the podcasting game. We do this out of love, not only of the Disney podcast, but love for y'all. And you make it worth it doing this every week. Thank you for coming along for the ride. The fact that you give us a second, let alone an hour at this point of your time every week, means the world to us. Be sure and drop a like on the Monday Morning Monorail Facebook group. A subscription would be vastly appreciated on the Twitter, Berk app, whatever it's called this week. 5-star review if you haven't done so in the iTunes store. And if you have done a review in the iTunes store, maybe refreshing it. It gets it in front of new eyeballs. That helps the algorithm, helps it get in front of people that haven't heard the show before, and helps grow the Monorail fam. Speaking of the Monorail fam, you are my favorite member of the Monorail fam. Thank you very much. Love y'all. Mean it. Talk to you next week.
Very, very good. Stephers.
Hi, that's me. Oh, is it my turn? I can't top Landon now.
Well, you
Go
gotta,
follow
you
Landon.
gotta.
LANDOZ. Go follow Landon. That's him. Adventures with Stephers on everything except Twitter. Twitter, it's private. Let's not talk about Twitter. I also have something brewing in the works. So Adventures with Stephers is paused because I'm working on something new. It is not theme park related though, so it's gonna be a little different. But if you still like hearing my voice and not just on the Monday Morning Monorail podcast, then stay tuned because I have new things coming.
We love new things. We love new projects.
True, we do.
I bet it's a book club. Oh, no spoilers.
No spoilers. I don't know what to tell you.
Stephers, are you writing a book?
Am I writing a book? Do you think I'm that talented? Thank you, Landon, for having faith in me. But
I mean, yes.
Thanks, Landon. You're lucky it's your birthday, or else I would block you. Just kidding.
Just block it.
If you go to my Instagram to follow me, my bio does have a teaser of my new venture. So coming soon.
There you go. There's reason enough to check out the Instagram. And we collectively are at Morning Monorail on Instagram and Twitter. You can email us mondaymorningmonorail@gmail.com. We have a Facebook group, the Monday Morning Monorail fam, and then we also have a Discord group. You can join all those things. Thanks for indulging us last week. I was out of town, and so I know it's if you watched the live Pass Holder Lounge, it was just a replay of the Pass Holder Lounge for March, but I did think it was also appropriate to put that here since all of you got to hear the first round matchups, and maybe if you didn't go watch the YouTube show, you wanted to find out how it ended. Everybody was thrilled. Everyone was thrilled with how it went. That's all. That's the only thing I know. They were so excited about it, and they 100% positive feedback.
It was a fun episode. Yep. We made somebody pee.
We did. We did. That's what we do here on the Monday Morning Monorail podcast.
Strive.
Yeah. But thank you all so much for listening. Thanks for being part of the Monorail fam. Thanks for telling friends. Thanks for reviewing. Thanks for everything. We love you so much. Happy April. Hope you had a great Easter. We'll see you next time. And until then, thank a team member. Thank a cast member. Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
It's my birthday.